For the last decade, modern dating operated on a single, unspoken rule: whoever cares less wins. The ultimate goal was to project complete nonchalance, effectively turning emotional detachment into a form of social currency. This dynamic normalized a specific set of behaviors designed to keep people at a safe, calculated distance. Situationships, talking stages, and ghosting became the standard operating procedures. If you never defined the relationship, you never had to risk the vulnerability of being rejected. But treating intimacy like a game of chicken has a steep cost. Constantly suppressing interest and pretending to be unfazed doesn't make daters cooler. Instead, it breeds a pervasive sense of insecurity and confusion for everyone involved. The strategy of playing it cool ultimately defeated its own purpose. By stripping away genuine communication, we built a dating ecosystem perfectly optimized for anxiety rather than actual attraction. The emotional exhaustion people feel is highly measurable. Researchers have begun examining the psychological toll of these low-effort romantic connections, and the results point to a distinct decline in mental well-being among young adults. When individuals participate in ambiguous dynamics like situationships or experience ghosting, they report significantly higher stress and lower overall relationship satisfaction. The uncertainty forces daters to constantly interpret inconsistent behavior, leading to chronic emotional instability. Now, a massive cultural pushback is happening. Daters are hitting their breaking point with gamified apps and low-effort texts. They are actively rejecting detachment and demanding genuine, intentional effort. This graph illustrates exactly how fast this shift is happening. In 2025, search platforms recorded a 217% spike for a word that didn't even exist in the dictionary: chalant. People are so desperate to break the cycle of apathy that they fabricated an entirely new vocabulary word. They needed a way to ask for warmth, responsiveness, and actual emotional investment. To be chalant is the unapologetic act of showing up. It means treating effort as a primary love language, making concrete plans, and leaving absolutely no mystery about whether or not you like someone. Breaking down this new approach reveals a specific behavioral blueprint. It relies on 3 operational pillars of communication, starting with the most foundational: consistency. In the era of nonchalance, consistency was viewed as a weakness. The standard play was to text enthusiastically one day and then go completely silent for the next 3. The goal was to manufacture mystery and keep the interaction casual. The challenge alternative replaces that anxiety with predictable reliability. It looks like initiating a conversation, suggesting a specific time and place for a date, and actually following through on what you said you were going to do. The psychological mechanism at play here is straightforward. Consistent behavior removes the need for guesswork. When someone's actions align with their words day after day, a partner's nervous system can finally relax, allowing trust to form. Many daters fear that being predictable makes them boring. In reality, reliability is the mandatory prerequisite for establishing emotional safety with someone new. Once safety is established, the interaction relies on pillar 2, attunement. This is the active skill of reading, understanding, and responding directly to a partner's emotional cues. Picture a common high-stress scenario in early dating. One person feels insecure about receiving mixed signals and expresses their worry to the other person. A nonchalant dater will instinctively dismiss this to avoid heavy emotions, usually with a phrase like, "You're overthinking, chill." A chalant dater offers a validating response. They invite open dialogue, saying, "I hear you, let's talk about it." Clinical attachment research confirms why this matters. When an individual actively responds to a partner's emotional needs rather than deflecting them, it creates a much stronger and more stable relational bond over time. Navigating a real romantic connection requires you to engage with your partner's emotional reality. Dismissing their feelings to protect your own ego only guarantees the relationship will fail. The final component is pillar 3, clarity. This is the courage to be completely honest about your expectations, your boundaries, and your intentions from day one. Nonchalance thrives in the gray area. It relies on vague statements like, "Let's just see where it goes," which provides an easy exit route and prevents anyone from looking overly invested. Clarity demands the exact opposite. It means openly stating whether you are seeking something casual or long-term. It means telling someone you enjoy their company and want to see them again, without hiding behind a wall of protective irony. When you clearly communicate your boundaries, you eliminate the toxic ambiguity that fuels the modern dating landscape. Daters who practice clarity see a drastic reduction in misunderstandings and the sudden dropout rates associated with ghosting. Setting expectations early on doesn't make a person clingy or desperate. It is the ultimate display of respect, honoring both your own time and the time of the person sitting across from you. Despite the clear benefits, many people still hesitate to show effort. There is a lingering fear that if you put your cards on the table, you automatically lower your perceived value in the dating pool. This chart from recent dating app data directly refutes that fear. When women were asked what defines a high-value partner, 72% stated they cared more about a partner's effort in building a relationship than they did about their income. It is crucial to set a strict boundary on what this behavior actually is. Chalance means engaged, healthy effort. It does not mean love-bombing a stranger, ignoring obvious red flags, or abandoning your own independence just to secure a relationship. By utilizing consistency, attunement, and clarity, individuals are reclaiming romance. They are rejecting a culture that has reduced human intimacy into a gamified marketplace of validation and endless swiping. In a digital world completely terrified of vulnerability, playing it cool is no longer the winning strategy. Looking someone in the eye and showing genuine care has become the most rebellious, high-value act possible.